Coach, what's up?
Hello.
Hey. How are you this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fabulous. Sorry, we're a couple minutes behind. Actually, I was the culprit this time. I was talking, and we ran out of time. So we apologize. It's the one time I was on time to the studio, but then right, and then when
I was
I'm like
asking
last,
questions though.
yeah, and then when I'm last second, I'm like, come on, Dave, yeah, all right, man, yeah. I gotta focus. Let's go. So now, go
Yeah,
figure.
yeah.
How was your
Yeah,
week?
yeah. Not bad. Can't complain.
Good.
Um,
No pun intended. Get it today, tonight's time. Yes. No, I like it. That was
I
good.
mean,
That was good.
how about that's true. How was your week?
It was decent. You know, the struggle is real, but I'm still here, so that's what matters.
Okay.
Yes. Had
Nice.
the opportunity to be on Sir Hale's show last night, and had some shout outs that came in. But you know what I also noticed when I'm on these YouTube videos, actually even live, I've gotten to the point where I'm used to. I should say, gotten to the point. I'm used to where people schedule my stuff. Like I'm a show up person. You tell me time, date, and topic,
Mhm.
boom, I'm there. So I'm not normally the scheduler. So the announcing, like I'm cheating myself of not really announcing my next location or my next spot, or how many times I'm like, catch me on, or that I'm not saying, catch me on BMU Network and blah 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 blah.
Right.
So I'm just talking. I'm on the show, and I'm like, good night. And if they don't say, tell us where we can find you, if they don't say that, I'm just good night.
Right.
so so this week,
Right.
I really wanted to blow up this topic, like and then I realized you ain't say a damn word to anything. So I
I'm
wanted to work
with
on that
you.
last night. But Lady Navoa, if she's here, and I don't see that screen yet, but Lady Navoa was actually giving shout outs like find him on
Oh,
BMU on Thursdays, even though I referenced the show a couple of times on that show, Sir Hale's
yeah.
show.
Yeah.
But so Lady Navoa, thank you for that. And
Oh,
Lost in
she did that.
Translation, if you hear this, if you show up here tonight, or if you catch the replay, thank you for the shout outs. World Class, thank you for the shout outs. Anyone who was on that call who was giving me shout outs, I wasn't reading I almost call
Chat.
it the prompter. Yeah, I wasn't reading the chat. So shout out to you. And I often do that here. So I'm going to work on that. And then that
Right.
way it doesn't have to be a complaint. Ha 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 ha.
Ooh,
Yes,
we
yes,
need
yes, yes.
that little boots, little sound.
Yes,
That'd be
yes.
good. But again, I'm gonna link that show. It sounds like it was a good show. I'm gonna go check it out.
It was decent. I was going 100 miles an hour talking and making points and talking. And I get lengthy and tell, because I do metaphors and scenarios, or metaphors and well, scenarios works, but there's another word for it. Metaphors, and I kind of give these stories. But pending the
Um,
story, it could be like a windy road, and then we hit landing. But at a great time explaining some of the things that you don't always get time to explain.
yeah,
And
you
when
think
it was kind, it was.
go ahead.
I mean, I was on point. I was satisfied with my. I'm being biased, but I was satisfied with my talking points or answering his questions.
Yeah.
Um, and it somewhat was related to tonight because his conversation was about trauma and how people use that word a lot on the YouTube streets. We have everyone's a doctor and a philosopher and blah 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 blah, right? And how much is truth and how much is this? So it was
Right.
a great conversation. But then I was thinking, because some of his questions, even though they weren't about people complaining, but in a way, I think we can find complaints in everything that we do and everything that other people do. Just even tonight, even though no pun intended, oh, I had a good week. I can't complain, right? I normally would, but what's that really going to do, right? Or I listened to myself last night. I had no complaints, and it's interesting. I don't know if that's just a Freudian slip because that's the topic tonight, but already, like, we use that word 2 or 3 times already, like in the last 5 minutes. I find that
Right.
interesting.
That is
Hmm.
interesting. And I also think that we we say things.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say we complain, but I'm describing
Well,
complaints.
yeah, I mean, yeah, we can
We
use the
talk
word. Yeah.
negatively and we
Uh huh.
think we're just making observations, but I don't think we realize that we are complaining.
Yes, yes, yes.
I
So
know
tonight,
we're into that.
yeah, tonight I'm going to complain on purpose, but it's not to complain just to be itching and complaining. But I really want to highlight some points. Now, our goal is really not to get into a bunch of talking points and really, we're not here so much for the entertainment. Some of it might be entertaining to listen to, but I really do want to get into how damaging is a strong word, but how crippling that complaining could be for us. And then also some of the benefits. There are benefits to complaining, but is there another term for it, such as
Mm-hmm.
being negative? Now, that still all
Mm-hmm.
sounds bad. Negative, complain, negative, complain.
And I'm about to put
Anyway, we'll get into it in a second. Let's give some shout outs. Let's get some recognition. I know we have CBN in the background, double
yes.
duty in it, working hard, doing his thing. So thank you, sir, for doing what you do. CBN,
Yes.
BMU, Black Men and Unfiltered Network. Thank you for having us tonight. And who do
Thank
we
you.
have in the chats? Look over here.
So far, we have take heed to the message.
Take heed. What's
Hello.
up? Oh, Take Heed was last night giving me some shout outs. Thank you so very much, Take Heed, for last night. Much appreciated at the Sarah Hill Show.
Oh, she's great. Thanks for being here. Then we also have Cody is King. He
Cody
says
is
I'm
king. I like
judging. He says I'm judging.
that.
Have a great show.
Yeah. Nice, nice, nice. Thank you, Cody. Thank you for being here.
And that's
And
who we've got so
all
far.
right, well,
But
let's roll
welcome
with it.
in.
Those who will trickle in or listen to the replay, please remember to hit the like button if you would. And then also, if you would share this information, is not as entertaining. But again, we believe in it. We believe in the messages that we offer. The network believes in it because guess what? As much as we can have fun and have these shows and entertain, is so critical to have some education or some knowledge and to break that cycle and belief that we can't be better. Not just as black people. I mean, everyone and anyone that we can't be better. We want to break that entire mentality that we can't be better. Or if we have mental health concerns, if we're depressed, if we have anxiety, or if we're just worried about something and we're not sure how to get things done, but it impacts our life, it delays us, it impacts our relationships at work, at home, so on and so on and so on, including the relationship with yourself. So our
Mhm.
goal, Coach K and I put our brains together and said, based on our two professions of helping people and giving back, and with the power of the BMU network, we are here to offer these topics as a way to help break through some of those mental cycles. So thank you for being here. Welcome. Let's have some fun. If you have any questions, please do throw them in the chat. Between the three, four of us, somebody will see it and hopefully get to it. If it's something we can apply to the show tonight. If not, we'll try and get to it another time. If you're listening to the replay, please put any questions or comments on the wall. If you
Mhm.
like the show and want to support us, please do so through the Cash App or through the Super Chats. Either way, thank you so much for the support in advance. We appreciate you. And Coach, you have anything to add?
No, that was great. I
All
mean, I
right.
was gonna add, I think mindset work and mental health and wellness is fun, but that's just me. So
To be fair, and I've said that one time before, like I really enjoy my work. And I'll
mhm.
never forget a client saying, must be nice. I thought, wow.
Mm,
But they're on the that was my client, and they're on the other side of the fence. So
right.
what seems like a motivation for me to go to work today and to be able to help someone and get a feel good out of it because I helped someone. But
Mhm.
at 2 in the morning, when that person was homeless, I wasn't out there with them. Or
Right,
another
right.
client when they're hearing voices in their head and they're dealing with schizophrenia or different things like that, I wasn't there with them. I might be there at two in
Right.
the afternoon as a case manager, taking them grocery shopping, trying to figure out
Mhm.
some things, getting them set up with appointments. But the rainstorm, I'm in the comfort of my own office or home. I wasn't out there with them. So it's interesting
Right.
how when you're dealing with it, is a different perspective. But at the
Absolutely.
but I think at the same time, it may not be schizophrenia, and I don't want to dismiss that. I mean, that alone is very challenging from my
Right.
understanding of it. But the day to day hustle, the for those who have PTSD, for those who
Hmm.
have relationship issues, for those who have addiction issues. I mean, food, sex, relationships, codependency, gambling. I mean, to lose fortunes because it's an illness where you can't stop like others would. Your ability to reason and use good judgment is off. So you're constantly in the jail system, like a cycle, just in and out of the jail system. So there's really not one mental illness better than the other.
Right.
Personality disorder, oh my gosh, borderline, right? So we talk about people being narcissistic, and I could just go on and on and on. But the
Hmm.
point is,
Hmm.
we're happy to be here to help address some of these things that are
Yeah.
either in the news or not in the news. Let's get into it. So again,
Sounds
welcome
good.
everyone. Scam Likely, what's up, Dusk? I did catch your show the other day, but I, I saw that you canceled it or you postponed it. So I'll be looking forward to the next one that you do when you
Hey,
get that going
Dustin.
again. And who's this thing is blocking my view. Let
We
me move
have
this out the way.
uh,
Tamika,
Tamika.
Tamika, hello. Is that like Tamika? Hello. No, she's saying, oh, hello
Is
everyone.
that
All right.
Tamika with Jedi Mike Tamika? I think. If it is, hey girl. That was one of those relationships that and they got
Oh
married.
yeah. Oh
Yeah,
really? From
yeah.
from from the BMU network, they met each other, or
Yeah, I mean they've been on Lapeef and things like that, but yeah, they're both
okay.
sweet. Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Jedi
Well,
Mike's great.
congratulations. Yes, love is everywhere. Boy, I tell you, these networks bringing love together.
Oh, it is
Uh,
Tamika.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it is. Nice, nice. Welcome. Thank you for being
Oh,
here. Lindsay Smith, Lawrence
hey
Ratano.
Lindsay.
I apologize if I'm butchering that. Mandrell's in the house. What's up? What's up?
Hey
No,
Mojo.
yeah, another show. I caught a piece of it last night, and then I checked today to do my replays, and it's like, so I'm so like, oh, all right.
Did
So
did you listen to Mandrell on how to stop eating chips or Pringles?
no, it was his the
I'm
politics
just
one. The
kidding.
politics one. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just kidding.
Oh, yeah, the show on Pringles. Yeah, I
I'm
still have
just
to.
kidding.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. And see, I could complain, but let me show you how just an example how you roll with it. I know good and well I'm not going to stop eating Pringles anytime soon. And when I listen to Mrs. She said, and she's like, it's ridiculous, shame, fat ass out there eating it, and I slow down on the chip like, oh, but but I'm
Yeah,
too
you
weak.
totally did.
I'm too weak because once you pop, you can't stop. But
Oh my gosh, that's the
yeah,
best.
yeah, yeah.
Do you
All
want
right.
to
So
answer Lindsay's question?
what's the question we have? Anyone know
She's
what he is a doctor of? Oh, good question. Good question. Talking shit. Talking. Let's see. No, 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 no. I am a comedian, so in case you're thinking, nah, he ain't no type of doctor. The degree is in psychology, cognitive psychology. So my study was in human behavior with addiction. And then I added more to my research project when it came to technology addiction and addiction. So that's what my research is in,
I don't think
and
I ever knew
doctor
that.
of psychology. Yep, yep. I don't tell the whole world out there, but that's what it's
So that's what
technically
it says, the doctor of psychology.
psychology. And then they have actually it's doctorate of philosophy is what it is.
Okay, because I
Doctorate
don't
of
know how
philosophy.
all that, what
Yeah.
it exactly
PH
says.
PhD is research, like you studied something.
Mm, yeah.
PsyD, PSYD
Oh,
is actually the psychology degree. And that's
yeah.
more
Okay.
clinic based. That's like they're in the clinic and doing more therapy type stuff. So my stuff is in counseling. So substance abuse counseling. The actual degree is in philosophy, and the topic is psychology,
Okay.
and the under part of that psychology is
Right.
cognitive psychology. I don't know
That's
how that
so
works. It's the
interesting.
school of cognitive psychology.
He's an expert,
So
though,
nope,
right?
nope. I'm just trying to give back. Lindsay, are you in the field? Are you? Oh, you're a PsyD? Oh, Doctor. All right, well, Doctor Smith. Pleasure to meet you and welcome. Welcome to
I
the.
Yeah,
show. I've not seen you here before.
yeah, she's on some other shows. But no, you are an expert because you have been in court as an expert.
Oh, addiction psychology, PhD. Hey.
No, she's saying that to you, silly.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know what Lindsay did, but Lindsay seems very well versed on she's very intelligent.
Oh, excellent. We need that around here. Listen, I will be honest. Actually, I said it last night. My learning skills, once I learn it, I take what I need from it and let the rest go. So I'm not very I don't use all the big words and fancy terms. I'm kind of just stuck in my lane and that's it. Master's in education. Nice. Oh, education psych. Nice, nice, nice. I'm at Lyrian with my master's stuff in marriage and family therapy. So that's cool. Well, pleasure to make your virtual acquaintance. And if ever you want to chime in, please do. And if I'm ever actually off base with some of this information, please also chime in. My goal is to be as accurate as possible, only really speak to the things that I know, but also willing to dig and find out so others can find out what we're talking about. So welcome. All right. So we're going to jump into it and minor in bio. Ooh. See, that's above my biology. Although I've always wanted to be a nurse. Coach K, I don't know if I told you, I always wanted to be a nurse.
Really?
Yeah, always. That was my fantasy. I didn't think I was smart enough to be a doctor, so I said I'll be a nurse, and I wanted to work in ER. I wanted to be in Chicago, Cook County. I want that pressure. I want gunshot wounds coming in. I want the doctors. Blah, 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 blah. I was ready. Now, how much so far, Coach, has it sound like I complained?
Wait, this whole time?
Yeah, they've been rattling off these things with Dr. Smith here. How much does it sound like a complaint?
No part of it, I don't think.
Really? That's the disguise of complaining. Did you know that? Did you know the disguise of complaining is a lot of times people want to find buy-in? If I complain enough and you offer any type of, oh, don't say that, you're smart enough, you could have been a doctor. I mean, you are a doctor, right? But if you do any of that, guess what? I get to feel good. I get the feel good of the you could do it and the affirmations. And a lot of people complain knowingly and unknowingly, but the payoff is the feel good. Can you imagine how many times I would say oh, I had a rough day and oh, my back hurts, and you ever have someone say, ooh, right here, and that's all they say is ooh, and right here, and then what happens? Is it a little bit? Oh, right. Yeah, right. Oh, ooh. And all they said was right here.
Right.
It's fair enough to say right here. We don't have to go into great explanation about that. But I want to think about how many times we hear in the YouTube streets or anywhere where people are complaining. Now, I think being negative is legit. Because being negative is pointing out something that's not very favorable or the opposite of positive. So it's an intentional pointing out the negative. And not everything is going to be smooth and happy and yay. So I think it's fair to say some things are negative. Now, I'm not talking about being a negative Nancy and all that stuff or whatever word it is, but I'm talking about speaking to something that's negative versus complaining. What do you think the difference is? Or what do you think what do you think the difference is? What's up, Pink's in the house? Hello, good to see you.
This is one of those times where you use a word and my sister will be like, I don't know what that word is. And I'm like, I know what it is because I just used it. I feel like I need to look up the definition.
Right. Well, let's do some examples. If anyone in the audience knows, what would you consider something that we speak to and is a negative, not the way we talk about it? Man, these so-and-sos, I'm not complaining. That's kind of negative. What I'm saying is I'm actually, the car model Zippity Zoo is an electronic car drive by itself. I'm concerned that it's going to be a malfunction and that thing is going to get out there and it's going to be driving and you can't control it and it's going to get in an accident. And since it's not human driven, we won't boom. I'm concerned Now I'm giving a negative review about this no human whatever car.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
car,
yeah, yeah.
unmanned car.
Right.
I'm giving a negative. Now the complaint version of that would be, well, I I don't know if I can afford one. I really want one, but no one's gonna give me one. I bet if I was driving in, I probably couldn't even steer it or know what to do, even if I was a passenger and I was supposed to take. See, so notice there's a difference between the I. You hear more I's. I'm hoping you do. In the complaining version, the negative version, I'm making a statement about my belief of this particular product. So but I don't know if I did the best in articulating that. And Dr. Smith pointed out, yes, negativity versus complaining. So definitely a versus. So what do you think?
I guess when I think about it, I think complaining is more so, there's a lot of emotion, or there might be more emotion to it, but it's also it's not productive. Like talking about the concerns of, a personless or driverless truck or car. I mean, it's negative, but there's a purpose for, behind it. That it's constructive. But complaining isn't really for anything, unless I mean, it might be for, understanding or validation or something like that. But
Right.
is it really constructive at the end of the day?
Okay. Almost Dr. Lindsay. Sorry, she said she's not a doctor. Almost Dr. Lindsay. A master's. Oh, still important. Any level is important. So thank you for correcting me. My apologies. I thought she was saying she's a side D. Lawrence, real quick. Lawrence, I have a channel. There's nothing on it. I do all my work here. But if you would please subscribe, that would be awesome. I'm gonna start doing some videos and put it on there.
I'll go get it.
And
I'll put it in the chat.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah. Thank you for asking, Lawrence. So when it comes to relationships, complaining, we also know this new term called gaslighting. Okay. So complaining could be a form of gaslighting as well, because my complaint about you, and then I'm putting the blame on you. See, Coach K, we could have done a lot better. We could have gone farther. We could have done this. We missed the movie tonight because you were moving too slowly. Negative, but complaining. And then I don't know if you ever watched someone do something that you actually have a problem with, but we actually watch instead of stepping in. Oh, so he's just gonna sit down and start playing the video game again. I'm gonna see how long it takes. Now, if we know there's gonna be a consequence of like delay. We're gonna be late, but I'm gonna sit and watch, and then complain after. No, that was stupid. No. Stop. I watched you. Okay. You sat down. You knew we were supposed to. First of all, there's the we, but you knew we were supposed to. Now I don't have to take responsibility for that person's behavior. They were sitting down, not taking care of business. But the complaint after, even though I observed, could I have headed that off? Could I have pointed to the negativity or the negative outcome we're about to have? Hey, Smuckatelli, I see you playing the game and stuff, but you only have about 3 minutes. I mean, is that going to work for you to see? I'm speaking to the potential negative outcome,
right?
If you continue to play, which is different than waiting to complain about it. What do you think? I see Nightish is in the house. What's up? Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for being here. Please remember, if you haven't already, to hit the like button. We thank you very much for being here, and hit the like button. We're talking about negativity versus complaining. There's a lot of complaining going on in the world. Just making a few distinctions, talking about the good, bad, ugly of complaining. Coach,
trying to find your thing, but we'll put it in the comments. Oh no, I think I am. Okay, I'm looking for your YouTube, but anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm. I
What are
want
you
to say
gonna
the truth. I get it confused between the Truth Talk Doc.
I
That's
thought
my
I
at
had
name.
it,
That's
but
my at name, right? Please
yeah.
forgive me. I'm not even. Oh, so embarrassing yesterday. I forgot the name of
Why?
my book. I was on the Sir Hale show and I was speaking to my book and I said, well, my book's name is
The fact that you have a book.
I know, but it was embarrassing. I was like, it's written in the uh
What are you like? Oh,
I'm
well,
like
I've written so many
I'm
books.
like, yeah, I'm like,
Just
well, no, it
kidding.
wasn't so many. It was just I
I
went
know.
blank. And then such a long name, I didn't have anything simple. It was a long. I'm like, anyway,
That's crazy.
it
That's
was
good.
embarrassing yesterday. I forgot my own book name. But
No.
all right. So
I'll get it in the Lawrence.
cool.
We'll get it. We'll
So
get it.
yeah. So again, complaining, relationship complaints. What have you heard in your practice?
Mm-hmm.
Because you work with adolescents. What would you say their number one complaint is in general?
I would say it's being stressed about what they have to do. Like they have this and they have to study for this and then or so like time management type of things
Time
or
management. Okay.
um might be parent stuff, there could be like rules that they do not look upon favorably or
Mm-hmm.
sometimes friend stuff too, like if people at school or friends are acting a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
things like that.
Now, is of the the behavior of the friend or the treatment of the parents per the adolescence report, is
Mm-hmm.
it something that's negatively impacting them, or is it them wanting to voice some experiences that that they are judging, or that they have a judgment about?
I think it's for the most part it's usually the latter.
Mm-hmm. Because
That's not
I
helpful.
can say my friends smoke and drink, and they want me to do it with them, and I don't want to. So
Mm,
I'm stating this behavior that's going to actually have a negative impact on me.
right.
All right. So is that a complaint, or am I just really speaking to the negatives, or a behavior that I don't want to engage in because I find that it might negatively impact me? So am I complaining? And there's no right or wrong answer, but this is that gray area, almost like, is it
Mm-hmm.
a complaint, or am I just speaking to the negatives?
I would say that it depends on what kind of like the question, I keep in the back of my mind is why are they telling me this? Like, what's the problem with this?
Mm,
Do they have a problem with it? So if, their friends want them to, or want to, you said smoke with them,
yep.
and they don't want to, okay. So I'd be like, okay, so what? So is it something where you're not going to have a ride home from school because they're going to cast you out of the friend group because you don't
Mm,
smoke? That
right.
there's definitely there's some more depth there. Let's
Okay.
talk about that. But if
Yep.
you're saying that, you know, is it that you're afraid to say no, maybe? Or that did you already say no and you're just like, I can't believe that they would ask that. Like you're almost wishing they were different type of thing.
Mm, So I
That's
like
kind of
that.
how I'm looking at it.
If I'm picturing the board here, I want to write down. What would you say? Goal? Like would you say reason? You said why are they? Because I
Why are
don't
they
want to use the
telling me
word
this?
complaining, right? Oh, okay. So why are they telling me?
Mm-hmm.
So why are you speaking to it, or why?
Mm-hmm.
What's the reason for the
Why is
tell?
this a
Or
problem for you?
perfect. It's okay. So one of the ways we can look at what I want to speak to is identifying why is a potential problem. Why is this a potential problem? So my friends who want to drink and use drugs, the potential problem for me is to be able to maintain school, breaking rules in my home. I don't want to use drugs or drinking. So I'm able to identify a few reasons there. So am I so are these the three reasons for my complaint? Or is it the three reasons to why I think it's
a problem?
negative? Yeah, problem. Oh, but now is problem the same as negative?
It's almost like, I think it's more so like, okay, so, because I never, and I'm sure you'll say the same, I'm never assuming they're complaining, because obviously if this is something that is a problem for them, we're gonna hash it out. We're gonna look at it. We're gonna break it down. So I would say, no, I don't think it's a problem. Or I don't think they're complaining, rather, excuse me. They're not complaining. Now, if they, let's say, tell me and we figure out what they want to do about it, or figure out, we find understanding why, because sometimes things, they suck and they just are. That doesn't mean I'm like, okay, by the end of this call, I want you to be happy about this. No.
Right.
But what are we going to do about moving forward with this thing? Now, if they don't move forward, whatever that looks like in the situation, and they come back to me and say, well, this, it might, I never think about my clients complaining, but that might be like complaining, I guess.
Right.
You might.
Well, so it sounds like the first conversation is being proactive. Coach, I have this problem that I'm concerned about. We've worked through some steps on different ways I can manage this, deal with it, but I'm going on and on and on. Now, unannounced to you, Coach, my friends keep pressuring me. At least I feel pressure, or I feel that they're constantly trying to influence me to do it. So now I'm getting to this point where I'm really building up. It's building up. It's building up. And when I see you now, I'm expressing that build up. Like I'm really, like I'm a verbal vomit. Even though we worked through some steps on what I could do, but the reality is, if I worked through these steps or not, it still didn't change my friends.
Yeah.
It helped me to figure out if I was going to get engaged or not, involved or not, but it didn't change my friends, and they keep talking about it, and I feel badgered by it. I feel like, so now I'm just vomiting this complaint, or I don't want to say complaint, but this expression.
Right.
So I'm assuming now, have I reached to that point of complaint, or am I still just speaking negatively?
If let's say they're wanting, there's some type of insinuation that they want their friends to change, or that they, then that's complaining, because we can't change people.
Right. We can't change it. We're going to change ourselves, only do our own.
Yeah.
So now I'm complaining. Now I am complaining. But then I'm going to add, so part of my vomit, or, and actually I saw this word someone was asking about, which means vomiting, right? Catharsis.
Yeah, cathartic. Yeah, she said it was cathartic.
Yeah, so if I'm
catharsis.
So if I'm like to the point where I've gotten,
like,
so it's actually a positive, because I'm if I came to see you for a session and I'm letting it out, that's actually a positive. You want to get that out. I think it becomes unhealthy if you aren't able to separate, like, what are you, how can this help you? Right. Or what is it that, now that you got it out, what do you want to do with it? Sometimes I think people just want to talk, like, and there's some therapies where some forms of help where you just listen. I'm just a sounding board.
It's like a brain dump, or
a brain dump.
Or we call it a thought download. Sometimes it's just nice just to get it all out.
Yeah. If I can do it without judging you. if you're going to feel judged, I'm sure you're not going to want to talk.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to be careful. I was just talking about this the other day, that certain sounds, looks, sounds, right? Does this look inviting? Like, I want to hear what you have to say.
No.
And you know, in some relationships, if I think that you keep talking about the same thing over and over and over, I don't get it. Why do you keep talking about the same thing? It's like you now I went from, I was supposed to be listening to you, and now I'm charging you with stuff. It's like you want the problem. Who keeps going back to the place? If you don't like the way they serve you there, why do you keep going? Maybe you're the dumbass. Ooh, now I've gotten into name calling.
Oh.
Yeah. But this is in the name of support, by the way.
Oh.
You know, maybe I was reading. Huh? What? Well, why do you keep going back there? I'm not trying to be mean. Here's the disclaimer. I'm not trying to be mean. And then follow with the complaint. I'm not trying to be mean, but like every time I sit down, I just sat my ass down, and now here you go with the same. How many times we have to talk about this in the week? Like every day. I know you go there for your coffee, but if you know you don't like the lines, you don't like this, and you don't like that, why do you keep going? I think you like it. I think you like the punishment. Now, I don't know if you find that helpful, Coach. Do you find that type of response helpful?
No. I do think the question is interesting. The one question, not when the body language is not, uninviting, but why do you still keep going? I think that's an interesting question to ask. Because to me, in my opinion, the epitome of complaining is when you keep talking about the same things, and people are doing this, and I've experienced this in the workplace, especially, like people are still doing what they're doing, so like how they carry their own weight. So it's like, where is this getting us? And it kind of brings, the whole environment, it affects the whole environment. Especially because it was when I was a server. So it's like, so what are we going to do about this?
Right. Sometimes it's all we know. I hear what you're telling me to do in response, or how I should respond. But what if that's what I really know? Right? How do I change? How do we change behavior? I see Sir Hale's in the house. What's up, Sir Hale? Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Salute to you, sir. And we're talking a little bit about what we were talking about yesterday a little bit, but we're complaints and judgment. So always an honor to have you here. Coach, and I'm sorry, you know what? I don't have those buttons to be like, yeah, so-and-so's in the house. Yeah. I don't have those buttons. So I have to kind of say it out loud. So Coach, what if I find comfort in your, this may sound weird, what if I find comfort in your, I don't want to call it judgment, in your, is it negative? I think it's an end. One side of me believes, because see, even negative behavior is behavior. Negative behavior still gets me attention.
Right.
So I can complain, and then you tell me, well, you're the dumb one, or whatever, however you say it. And even though it may seem negative or judging like, or judgmental, but it's still, you're talking to me.
Yeah.
So here we go. If I said, why do you, but notice I had to stop. If I was reading, what? But now you got my attention. So all behavior has a purpose.
Right.
So think about our kids and different people who do whatever, there's a purpose. So if I stop reading to tell you, I don't know why you keep going up there, but it's part of my complaint because of I chose, maybe I didn't want to, so I felt interrupted here. Like, so is this really 100% about you right now? My response, because when I stopped, and if I'm saying we talk about this every day, come on. Why do you keep going up there? I mean, you're the dumbass. You keep going up there, and you don't. Who was working? Smuckatelli? Oh, hell no. Yeah, you know what day Smuckatelli worked. Why do you keep going up there? Come on. I don't even want to talk about it. And then the people who don't want to talk about it, but they keep talking. I don't even want to talk about it. I mean, like every time you go, what did you get? A peach? Blah 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 blah. Yeah. I mean, my favorite is extra strawberry. You don't ever bring me one if you're going up there. Listen, I don't have time for it. Oh man, now where was I in my reading here? Because see, now you done messed me up with where I was. So we actually can feed off of each other. And I want to talk about not anyone in a negative way. So I'm not saying that people are ill or sick or the problem, but I do ask that people are mindful about your type of attention that you like. How do you seek attention? And are you enduring abuse? Are you enduring abuse to receive the attention, which may not feel like abuse because the person spoke.
Right.
I mean, I'm gonna go a little harder with that, and I know most of you know that I usually speak in the extremes. So if anyone's new here to hear me speak, I usually like to go to the extremes. Anything less than yeah. Anything less than that is a blessing. So it won't be too abusive and cursing, but I am going to go to the extremes here, put my acting skills on. So I was reading. Coach K comes to tell me about. Smuckatelli at the place she goes every morning before work to get her coffee.
Yeah,
and she complains again. Yeah. Hold on for a second. Hold on, let me mark my spot here. Hold on. Now, how many times do I have to tell you? You know what? I think you like the problems. I think you like being abused. I think you like the attention. I think you really like it. I think you're that fucked up. I think you're that messed up in the head.
This is the gas
because
piece, right?
Here we go. Here's the flip, right? No, you're right. Here's the flip. And then even if you said that word, let's roll with that. Let's roll with that. You wanted to be gaslighting. But if you truly didn't want me to gaslight you, then why do you keep going up to the same place? Come on, you want to put it on me. You want to make me the bad guy when you keep going to see Smuckatelli. Think. Now, this gesture here implies what? I mean, it implies
that I'm not thinking.
You're not that smart.
Right. So, yeah, so that communication there, well, if you want to call it that, is it could be deemed as abusive, right? I mean, if you keep going that over time.
I say if it's motivating you for behavior change, and that's the last time you're gonna call me. The last time you're gonna be doing this to me, right? That means because I'm saying you're right. I needed that kick in the pants. I didn't need you to call me dumb or stupid, but I needed that. I won't be seeing Smuckatelli tomorrow. I think if it works in that way, great. But ladies and gentlemen who are listening and others out there, please be mindful of when people are slowly but surely changing what I call the job description or that gaslighting. They're flipping it on you to make it seem like you're the problem. The more I can put you in debt to me, the more I can put you in debt to me, the more I can get you to say something in return like, my bad, my apologies, what can I do to make it up to you? The more I can say, listen, I don't have time for you right now. In fact, don't talk to me for the next 2 hours. And the more I can get you to say, okay, I'll do anything. I think that's when we have to be careful. That's when we have to recognize how much we're selling our soul, how much we are surrendering, and at what cost. What is it for? Why are we doing it? Because you have a right to complain. What's the law that says you can't complain? You have a right to find negativity in things. Who says you can't find negativity in things?
Right.
But when it gets to the point where it's to your disadvantage or you're being abused or is not working to help reinforce anything or support you, then I suggest that people take a real good look at, back to your question, what's the true problem? If the
Right.
true problem is sometimes I'm just finding talking points so I can get your attention, then
Or it
that's the
feels
problem.
productive.
It feels productive. You know, and I don't know for you, coach, but if you like to solve problems and you do it all day long for work, and if I'm your husband, I'm just acting. Salute to you, sir. But
Fun
if I'm
bun.
your if I'm your husband, subconsciously I know that you served people all day long,
Right.
and now when you and I are not talking, what if I'm feeling some kind of way about wow, others get your attention? You do it at work. You don't have anything to say to me. You don't give me any pointers. I know I'm not a client, but if I get in that mindset where I'm actually competing for your, at least I believe, I'm competing with your time, competing with your clients, then I create something that leads you to helping me.
Yeah, you're gonna bring me something to solve
And
without knowing that you're doing
right.
it.
And I dare you to say something like, hey, listen, I do this all day long. I don't know if I want to come home and
You know,
so you can
nurses
help.
will say that about when they have kids, like my sister. Like I would wipe asses all day. But anyway, that's a
Yeah.
no.
But true, teachers,
Mm-hmm.
educators, nurses, lawyers who say, oh, uncle, can I ask you a question about hey, listen, I do counselors, anyone in that service industry who's talking and doing finances, I'm a financial planner and all, you want to talk to me about taxes, and any of those service industries where people are asking, hey, I'm spent. I did all that stuff at work. But be aware, your partners may engage in these behaviors just so you can offer that service to them. I'm just saying. What do you think about that?
I mean, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that's where you have to know. I mean, both individuals in a relationship have to know, kind of just have that awareness of what they're doing, especially because if you see that the outcomes aren't working, you know, let's say you're arguing or whatever it is, then
Mm-hmm.
and you take a look at that, okay, see where this is coming from, you
Right.
might notice.
Mm-hmm.
They
Coach, I see we had a question up there. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to lean in to
no
see
no
what
no
was up there.
you're
What
no
do you think
you're good.
about
I was about to say that to you.
what do you think? People want to come up and have this conversation with us? Me have donut. Me have donut. I like that name. Me have donut. That's pretty cool. Welcome. Thank you for being here. And Isaiah Jr., what's up? Thank you for being here. Salute to you. And let's see what else we have. Who else do we have? But what do people, Coach, what do you think? You want to bring a couple of people up to have this conversation? See, the question
Yeah,
is more specifically about alcoholism. Um,
yeah,
but
I'm
CBN, if you have a moment to drop the link, we could do about 2 or 3 folks up here. If people want to come up, join the conversation.
yeah, if we can just be intentional.
Oh yeah, we'll be.
No, 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 no.
We'll make it intentional.
I'm talking to CB.
Oh yeah. If we get the surprise, well, we have a donut in the house tonight, so I was gonna say if we get the surprise donut, but we actually have someone in. So if we get the surprise smuckatelli,
That's funny, but yeah,
while we're waiting, one of the things also, Coach, I want to talk about when it
yeah,
comes to the shaming and the judging, and when we're criticizing and or complaining,
mm-hmm,
what are we doing about it?
mm-hmm,
What are people doing about it? On the YouTube streets, I hear people saying no more talking points and no more bashing. And very next episode, talking points and bashing. People
right,
saying not enough is done in the community, but at the same time, they're at home not getting involved. I was watching, I don't know if you got a chance to see BMU's intro and outro on Tuesday.
no,
Unless it was just Photoshop, he was on some marches. He's out there with the people. OG Speed. If you see, there's a picture with him down at the city council or something like that
Oh yeah, yeah.
with
He
the
takes
folks.
action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying people need proof. You don't need, photos and videos and all this. You don't need this proof. But people are actually doing it. And it's funny because those who are really doing it really don't speak to it as much. Like they're not doing it for talking points. They're not doing it to prove a point. But the people who complain a lot, are they actually doing anything? The weight loss. I said, oh, about the Pringles. But am I doing anything to a delay is not a stop. That's not a stop. I mean, that's a delay.
Right.
And then, I don't know if you ever do that automatic eating, not even hungry, just.
Oh yeah, that's on autopilot for sure. That's some subconscious,
Right.
And
But
I think people do find comfort from complaining though, too.
They do. That's a kind of an autopilot thing. Complain, bitch, and complain, snack. Oh, and then they give it justification. Well, I can't help it. I got that one ABCDMOUSE, and it's just something that I got to keep doing. So they justify it. I can't help it. That's just the way I am. I'm just messing with you. I'm a jokester. When I call you names and when I'm talking back, this is the way I am.
Something interesting too, that is the competition, the competitive complaining. Like, oh, mine is worse than yours, like friends, do I look ugly in this? No, you look good in this. I mean, at least you don't look like this or something like that.
Right.
Not very productive.
Well, sometimes I need that reassurance though.
So you're always going to be complaining then if you're going to get your reassurance from answered complaints.
Yeah. I wonder though if that part is always intentional. Like, I mean, I do want the support. I mean, I want to, I look like a plum in this thing up here and da-da-da-da. And I really thought that, but I'm not complaining as in I look ugly in it. I'm just saying, man, I look like and then we like, no, you look fine. That reassured me. But what I personally have a problem with is when you reassure the hell out of something and the person is still complaining. Right? No, you look great in it. No. Even if you look like a plumber, won't take a bite out of you. You look great. No, and then the seeing the thing. Well, take the damn thing off. I'm just gonna take it off. Oh, but that's too white. Shut.
That's what I was saying about the work thing. It's like if you're complaining to get people to change,
yeah,
they're not doing anything. They're not changing. So either stop. It was. The example would be until someone comes up is, people aren't doing, their shared work, their side work. Right. Okay. Right. Well, you can't force people. Complaining is not making them do it anymore. So either you stop doing as much as you're doing because you're free to do that and just deal with the repercussions. Because honestly, we're all going to have to suffer, or you just let it go.
Now here, speaking of a sufferer, now I'll get to. Hey Mo, good to see you. Good to see you.
Hey,
get you in the hot second here. Welcome. I want to make a strong point about this, Coach K, and I'm not joking when I do this part.
Okay.
There's also a new fine line.
Yeah.
Between what we're talking about, someone's complaining, and even though in my jokey voice I say, "Oh, stop all that! Oh, please," in the serious voice for those helpers out there, for those who want to give support, and you're like, well. How can I support you through this? Here's a new fine line that I'm finding in our society. I'm finding that if you're male, and this is not speaking to the speaking points, I'm talking about something that I'm finding to be realistic. And I'm even having clients who are talking about it. That you're now being charged, or not now, but it's easier for you to be charged as misogynistic or doing too much or getting too involved when I'm saying, hey, I hear you doing the complaining. How can I help you? If it's a male. But in our current society where people are saying, just because I'm complaining doesn't mean I need you to fix it. I'm hearing couples who are coming in saying, he thinks I'm handicapped. He acts like I can't do anything. I just say one little thing, but you complain about it all the time. But that doesn't mean I want you to fix it. But do you hear the conflict? So you don't want to fix it. Sometimes I just want to complain. And that's where you have to be careful in the relationship. Do we have those type of boundaries where I'm open to hear those complaints? I want to hear your complaints. I want to hear your voice. I want to hear what you speak to, or I don't have the tolerance. I don't have the capacity, or I'm just too selfish. It might just be about me. But I think those are serious conversations people need to have within your peer groups, your professional groups, your personal groups, and in your family. Really know how welcoming people are if you're going to jump in to help, or how much is really helping by just offering less. So it's very interesting. I wanted to
that's a great point. It's almost that unsolicited advice, and love him or hate him, but Ben Shapiro has used this example where if his wife is complaining, he'll ask her, is this you want me to fix it problem, or you just want me to listen, problem? Because as a coach, I'm very aware a lot. I'm most of the time definitely not perfect, still human. But I'm really aware, but don't get me wrong, especially when I talk to my sister, I love to just get it all out. And then that's it. We don't have to talk about what I'm going to do. I just want to get it all out. That's it.
Right. Who's more responsible? And I'll get you in here, Mo. Who's more responsible? The listener. So let's say you and I are the listener and people know what we do for a living. Now no one can make us respond. But remember, I've had a long day where I've helped already 8 or 9 clients. Then I come home and my cousin or family member is complaining, and they know, they'll even say something like, "What do you think?" So is it up to me to say, I just want to listen? Or is it up to them to say, "Hey, I just want you to listen"?
I would say either one. I would say if they haven't said, "I just want you to listen," you could ask, in this situation, are you, and I've actually told my sister this, are you wanting me to give you coaching, or are you wanting me to just listen?
Right.
Sometimes she gets coaching regardless because it's the way my brain works, but yeah.
Right. All right, well, I'll get to some of these comments in a second on weekend, but let's get Mo in here. What were you going to say, Coach?
I said I was thinking it's a little bit of both, but yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Mo, how's it going?
Mo, welcome. Hello. Thank you for coming up. How are you?
Hey, I appreciate it. I'm doing great. Glory to God. How about you guys?
Oh, fabulous. Glad to have you up. I see we have Scam Likely in the house. What's up, Scam?
Good to meet you, Mo. First time seeing you on camera.
Yeah, first time. I've seen his name a few times. Yes. What do you have to bring to the conversation?
Forgive me, I'm late, but I missed a lot.
No worries. We're just talking about judgment.
I heard something that was a kind of a trigger of mine.
Okay. Would you hold it for a quick second just so we can get Mo in? Because he got up here just before you. Unless CBN had you in the back. I don't know, but
Mo, what
were you going to say?
No, Mo was here. Go ahead, Mo.
So for me, I'm sick and tired of a lot of people complaining, especially at work. I have
sick and tired.
Yep. Because I have an older gentleman that I work with. He complains about the problems when there's clearly no solutions to the problems. He comes in at work, he drives an hour away, but it's like, dude, you could get a better job. And where we work at, we don't get paid to go fast. We get paid to be just efficient. We take our time, all that good stuff. He always goes fast. He lets everything bother him, but I tell him, dude, you have to slow down. No job is worth killing yourself, because at the end of the day, you're just a cog in the wheel. They can easily replace you. Oh, but it bothers me. So, but he's an older gentleman. Some people, when they complain, they're always stuck in their ways. And I can understand, you want to vent and stuff like that. But if there's clearly no solution, why not make a solution for yourself? Slow down. Make sure you take your time. Don't try to crash into anything because you're driving a forklift. Just be mindful of your surroundings. That's all you have to do. If you take your time, take everything one step at a time, everything will go through.
Mo, what do you think of this? Whatever age that person is, but in their lifetime, they've always made it about other people. They've never even taken time to take care of themselves.
Right.
that actual idea of slow down and do for yourself is foreign. What would you think if I said that?
I would say that that idea is very logical because he does do a lot of things for other people. Like he sets up the boxes, he sets up the liners because we pack up fish. What we do is put the fish in the liners. We have to get everything set up because without the boxes, nobody could put any of the fish through. Without the liners, the fish are not secure. So that mindset is there for him, but sometimes you just have to slow down. But like I said, this is a guy that's stuck in his ways. He's I would say around 62 years old. And he's still doing this, still going strong. But I do it all the time, and I'm the type of person where, excuse my French, I don't know if am I allowed to curse in this channel?
Respectfully, we're going. Coach curses me out all the time. She always calls me all kinds of names.
I need to stop cursing, but
personally, I don't give a shit.
Oh,
yeah. For me, like the lines could be full, and I really don't care because I'm not going to kill myself. You know what I mean?
Right. All right. Challenge to the chat. Is it really a Mo issue who doesn't have the capacity, the tolerance, or give a ship? Or is it the person who keeps talking? Well, I mean, because, just think, what do people think? I hear this from Sir Hale. He says, put a 1 in the chat if you think it's Mo's issue. Because no matter what the guy says, he's running his mouth and Mo has work to do. Right? Yeah. Hey, man. And in fact, I saw someone else say, I have enough problems. Don't.
Sam said both.
yeah. Right? I have enough problems. I don't need you telling me about all. So not really your problem, Mo, but question to the chat. What do we think? If you're in that same situation, is it really Mo who just, hey, I don't know, anytime he opens his mouth, I'm expecting, or I believe I hear a complaint. Is it really Mo, or is it the guy who's talking? So a few people have said both. Yeah. Okay.
I think this is interesting.
Go, Kate. Go, Coach.
And I see what you're talking about because just the way you described it reminds me a lot of what I dealt with at my work, but also even my dad. I don't know, this is an age thing. Just kidding. It's not. It's a human thing. But there are two things. But since we're talking to you and not the other guy, I would say. And if I was talking to him, okay, this is the way it is. So you can pretty much expect that he's going to come in and complain. So what do you know what I mean? What do you want to do about it? Just like he's going to come in and pretty much expect that the workplace is going to function the way that it has been. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that same thing. But what do you think, Dr. Jacoby?
So I'm torn on it, just because of the work that I do, right? So here's my instant response. Just as much as I say, who gives a crap about what he's talking about, then actually use that mindset. I really don't care, but at the same time, what does it hurt to listen? So if it's impacting my workflow, that's the issue. So when I go back to Coach K saying, well, what's the problem? Is it that this old man, and 62 is not old, but is it this old man wants to talk always, right? Is that the problem? Because then Coach K says, we can't control that. Right. Is it that I don't have the time, like literally and then I feel bad if I have to walk away. So it's really about my feelings. If I don't take time to listen to them, I feel bad. Or is it that I don't have the capacity? I don't give a crap. So to me, Coach, is really 3 different layers to it.
Right.
I would have to ask you, Mo. I would have to say, where do you think you fall in this? Where do you think you fall into that?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't give a crap.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. Yep.
I'm assuming.
So if that's that was my top one, right? So the top one was he's just an old man, likes to talk, and I don't give a crap. Okay. So if that's the case, then I would say do what you need to do so then you don't have a complaint. Man, this dude's talking every day, because if you really didn't give a crap, why is it then consuming you? Because then it almost goes back to that question. Why is it, if you really don't give a crap, why is it consuming you?
That's a good point.
I had to do
I
this
did, I
work
did not
too,
think of it that way.
though.
I did not think of it that way. Like, wow.
Mhm.
That
Yeah. I mean, if we're just venting, if you're just saying, "Oh man, Johnson every day, woo, that dude, what was he talking about? I don't know what the hell he's talking about half the time, but I whatever. I hear him,
Yeah.
but I don't." So that's just giving it voice. But if it starts to pull that stuff, like, "Oh man, dude, I don't want to be mean. Like, can I curse on here? Yeah, go for it. I don't give a shit about."
you have to be clean about it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have to give a shit about, but okay, so why are you just kind of making a speaking point about? No, it's just I wish he would stop. Oh, that's the thing.
I actually disagree.
Lindsay Smith.
I
What'd she
actually
say?
disagree with it.
She said being
She
around
said
negative
being
people,
around-
it rubs off. Why you say you disagree, Coach?
So, of course, it's going to depend. Like, how is it rubbing off on you? So, what does that even mean? So, if it's making you feel negative, what are you feeling negative about?
Right.
Is it that someone is? And I do believe there is an energy point to it, but you also create your own energy. So if you're agreeing with this person, not even agreeing with it, if you're thinking about how, man, this person just complains all the time,
right,
that's what's rubbing off on you, is how you're thinking about this person complaining, or how you're going about it. I'm not saying that, again, that we want to feel
right.
Oh, he's complaining, love it, it's la-di-da, but
okay. So it's an energy sucker, and you're saying let it.
If you give that person, or whatever the reason for why you're feeling the way that you do, then you're going to have to wait for that person or situation to change for you to not feel that negativity. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So
you will catch it.
What's the age gap, roughly? What's the age gap between you and this guy?
About 30 years.
30 years. So you don't have the stimuli right now of being in that age group, the stimulation of like what's going on for that person. Okay. The only reason I say that is, what if we increase our empathy, compassion, and concern just a little bit? Then I wonder if that shifts the energy a little bit. I wonder if we plan for it too. I know in this current work environment, while Smuckatelli is still alive, hopefully a few more years he takes his whatever early retirement. But in this work environment, I know I'm going into a job where Smuckatelli works and every day he has a complaint. My goal is not to let it stick to me, especially if my level of engagement, I don't have to respond to. If I don't have to respond to it. Now, because we're human, there are going to be some days where, dude, what? But then I want to challenge, and this gets nasty. Who are we? Who are we? Who are we that we, just because we don't have that complaint, we don't have that energy, but who are we? And then how weak, because you didn't say this, Mo, I'm just adding words. I'm getting to my theatrics. That MFer, that old man, that guy keeps complaining every day, but yet I've exhausted my energy. So then I wonder if I'm on the same level as they are. Like I've actually reduced my energy, reduced myself to be, no, I'm not gonna, and what if I set a boundary? Hey, Smuckatelli, I love it, man, but every day, and I want to hear you out, because I believe you like to talk. Here's the deal. The only time I really want to do this is 3 days a week between 11 and 12. Oh, wow, really? Like you're gonna put it? All I'm saying is because sometimes. So where's my assertiveness skills? Where's my ability to speak to what my truths are, my needs are, my wants are? I want to meet you halfway. Where's our negotiation skills? Where's our ability to say, I can only handle so much. I want to be kind, but at the same time, I feel bothered. Your conversation is not always wanted. Because if we don't tell the person, what if they continue a behavior that they don't even know is not wanted? Right. I mean, you can make faces like, oh, but not everyone picks up on social skills, right? Not everyone picks up on social. Oh, dang. Oh, thanks, man. Yep. Huh?
Right.
Oh,
Right.
and you can even sit like this at the lunch break, like sit in the lunch break like this. And then the thing was the weirdest thing. My window had, just kept going, and you
Right.
got to be shitting me. This dude kept. I've seen people like, oh yeah, yeah. Oh,
Right. And they're
oh
not picking up on
damn.
it.
So I say yes, and this is just my perspective. Yes, it's annoying, but how much am my 2% in the allowance? My 2% in the perceived permission giver. It is a perceived permission giver. Let's put it into some other terms. If I kept saying to you, Mo, dang, you look good in them glasses, man. What's up, man? What kind of glasses are those? You look sexy. And if you just smiled and said, "Oh," I'm thinking you like that. I can't wait till tomorrow to see you. Oh shit, did you shave? You cut your hair a little bit? Oh, how'd you notice? Because the way the glasses, the way the frame goes around, right? Now, some people will be ready to fight. Hey man, don't be coming to me with that little bitch shit, man. But if you don't say stop, if you don't set your boundaries, if you don't really let me know this unwanted or enough is enough, what if I take that as a permission giver and I keep going? So I say it's 50-50. State your feelings without being mean about it. Man, I love Johnson. You talk every day, but it's always a complaint. No, you youngster. Oh, stop. Just because I'm young doesn't mean it's okay to just keep talking. And maybe when I get old, I'm not calling you old. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be mean.
Right.
I know you have your reasons for talking every day, but really some days, just bear with me. Can we just some days? And we collaborate. I mean, we really make an attempt, increase my compassion. Like, why does he talk? What if work is the only place he gets a voice? That's not your responsibility, but what if?
Right.
So I don't have to suck up to him. I don't have to be a simp to him. At the same time, I set my boundaries, and then I find some way to find him halfway. What do people think about that? Make a game of it.
I think finding understanding and gratitude is always, and gratitude is kind of like that buzzword, like, oh, self-care, gratitude. But really though, like, and I'm not even saying like this wasn't you, Mo, but when I'm really struggling with like trying to approach a situation where I can't change it, or, there's really nothing that I can do about it, but it's not the best. I might try to find a piece of it that's like, okay, this isn't where I want to live forever, but at least I have a roof right now, for example. Or like when my cats are yelling at me to feed them, I'm like, yeah, but I do love them. You're pissing me off, but I love you. Those types of things.
Now there's one more piece, Mo, and I do want to acknowledge this. If the workplace is not designed for all the talk, like it's non-workplace talk. I don't mean the subject. I mean, like, that's not what should be happening right now. Then you also have that right to be in a workspace that's considered respectful workspace. I shouldn't have to listen. So if you're in a workspace that doesn't include where people are just kind of going and going and going, you also can set those boundaries too, to say, hey, nothing mean, but really, like, that's not in this space here. Like, we're not even to be doing all that. And it's just, sometimes I get overwhelmed. It's too much. So I think that's a reality too that some people have to face. Just because you're nice, just because you're whatever, that it doesn't mean I have to. If the workspace doesn't allow for it, then I don't want to do it.
Right. That's actually a good point. I got a Mel on this. This is really some deep stuff. Even though it's just some minor like complaining, but you broke it down really good.
Well, awesome. Coach and I thank you. I still want to go back to Coach's thing. If you can, think of the problem that is doing for you, and if you have any relationship with this person at all, if you can see what the win is for him. Like, why do you keep talking to me, man? Like, why do you? Because either your silence or your permission or whatever they're receiving, they might take it as you are an approachable person. Or if they're just talking to everyone, say, hey, this is shared space. I don't want to be. Or if you don't like conflict, because Coach, that could be the thing too. The reason he's bothering Mo so much is because he doesn't like conflict and he really wants to tell this dude, shut the hell up. But I don't want.
It's also built by association too. If the manager's like, man, this guy's always complaining, Mo must be complaining too, or something.
Right. All right,
Yeah.
Mo. Let me bring Scam up here. If you want to stay. But let's bring Scam. What does Scam have to say?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, Mo, for sharing. Dr. Nakumbi, is it Insights and Perspectives? Is that your channel? Or is that your old one? Is your channel
mine?
the Dr. Nakumbi Insights and Perspectives?
Yeah, that's the channel.
Okay, I found it. Okay, I got it.
Yes, thank you.
Sorry, I'm a bug. I wanted
that.
to share it.
All right. What's up, Scam? What's going on? You said it pushed a button for you.
Oh,
No, just the do you want me to listen or do you want me to that question? I had that conversation.
Oh yeah.
I had that question ringing in my brain until maybe 2021. Something I've heard many times. Sometimes when people want to talk, they just want you to listen. Why? Because they just want you to listen. Why? Doesn't make sense. Heard it a million times. Been on the other side of it. Took a class in 2014. They brought that topic. I was the first one to raise my hand. Why would somebody just want you to listen? And at the time, I broke up with an ex-girlfriend. I thought that was going to be the love of my life and marry and all that. She was one of those people. People mentioned it. I still didn't get it. Emotional intelligence. Took the class in 2019. I still didn't get it. Didn't get it until 2020, 2021 maybe. When I thought about, I had one of my best friends died in 2017. And when I was in the Army and all through other times, college, mad at parent, anytime there was something going on, I'd always call him. He didn't have no answers to anything. None. But he knew how to have that conversation and have me laughing at the end, bring up something we did in 9th, 10th grade or something, a story or something. I didn't understand until I actually wrote down, why do I call him? Or why did I used to always call? And I got it. The biggest problem when somebody's going through something is they want you to change the way that they feel. It could be outraged. It could be depressed. It could be pissed off. It could be lost. If they can get you back on focus and change your mind temperature, you can handle the problem your own damn self. You knew how to do that. Sometimes women I dated knew how to do that, which usually I don't bring a lot of problems to them, but something small, they knew how to change the way that I was thinking. Then I can solve the problem my own self.
That's what we do as coaches, pretty much.
Yeah, because in a super logical person, they're looking for an answer to the problem that has to be logical. But over logical people don't understand emotional problems a lot of times. So they're looking for logic to solve emotions, and it doesn't work.
That part of your brain is shut off, especially when you're emotional.
Yeah, then it's like, why are you
aspiring? Yeah.
And the worst thing they want to hear, why are you thinking and feeling like that? Oh God, no, don't do that. Why is it like that? Because you're telling them to be you, and you ain't even in the situation. That's gonna make them matter. But to some of what I was hearing about the conversation about a coworker. When I was a supervisor, went to supervisory training, and they gave us like a survey. It's like, you should probably get us to your employees. And it was top reasons of things that you want working at this place. I gave it to 4 employees, and I got 4 different answers, and they weren't the 4 answers that I thought. All these things like training ability, money, monetary awards, recognition, positive work environment, all these things. None of them selected money as the number one thing of why they wanted to work where they were working. Promotional opportunities and some of the other stuff, training, some of those were at the bottom. They want to work in a certain environment. They want a certain type of energy. They can go get money anywhere. They can't get environment anywhere. Everybody might want something different.
Right.
And the last thing I was going to say is people's currencies are different. Just like animals. Dog knows that you showed up. Like I pull in the driveway when I was staying with my brother. He had 2 Dobermans. Of course, they might can hear the car coming. But they know who's at the door by the sense of smell, not sense of sight, or not by what you say.
You didn't bathe or what? No, I mean, my bad. All right, go ahead. My bad. All right.
Yeah, they know who you are.
Right,
But
right.
sometimes people work the same way. They can tell by the energy when you roll your eyes at them, or certain body language, or way you say how you say. What do you need, man? All right, what is it this time? They know you don't like them.
Right.
They know you don't want to talk to them. They know you don't want to hear nothing they got to say, and they're going to act according. I see it across panels a lot of times. Or they formed a judgment, or it could be that they know that you formed a judgment on them, and they're going to act, and you're going to get that version of that person. That's just how people.
But I have a couple of thoughts. What if one, I don't give a shit about what you think? Like, you can roll your eyes over there on that side of whoever that is up there. You can roll your eyes. I don't give a damn. Or I want to convert you. Not convert you. But I want to like, we're going to get you right. We're going to get you right. You always act like your shit is, so I think there are a couple of different perspectives. One is they don't give a shit about what you think. And two, they want you to be on their side.
That could be both, because some of it is they think that they're right. I was arguing with a person, and they're just like, why this? And how come this here and that there? And I was trying to tell them, I don't want that over there. I want this over here. But why would you want? Okay, if you gave me all of that over there, and I had to lose this over here, I'm mad because I sacrificed this to get this, and this wasn't what I needed. People have different values and value different things. So you can't force a different value system on somebody. You can only meet them where they are on their value system, or show them how what you got matches and can get them what they want on their value system. Everyone's different. Unless, now we're talking survival mode, it's a different game. The stuff that I talk about, I mean, I truly believe it. I talk health first. No health, you don't got no value system because you're going to die. Dead people don't have money, don't have nothing else. They're dead. Mental health, confidence, all that stuff affects everything in your plan before you even get to your plan. Then the things come to your actual plan. Okay, you want this, you want more time, you want more money, you want more kids, you want more whatever, peace of mind. Then you can get to those things.
Right.
It's more, I think in a lot of conversations, people need to do more listening and people need to do more understanding and try to work together and solution based. Or we can just troll them. But I mean,
right. If that's possible, yes. Let me throw something in there. Anyone know my favorite word? What am I about to bring up? Let's see if anyone's in the audience knows my favorite word. Coach, you know what I'm about to say it again. Say it again for those in the back.
Oh, trauma.
Trauma. Yeah. So watch this. Because if we're talking about our value system and our core beliefs, so you take someone who's experienced any type of trauma or an experience, let's not use the T word tonight, but it means the same thing. Had a certain type of experience. When I grow on that experience, if I believe you never get in a situation that you can't get out of in 30 seconds, if I believe watch my back before someone's going to get me, because when I was a kid, I never knew when mom was going to come in the room. I never knew when I was going to get hit in the head. I never knew. So if I believe I'm going to be injured, if I have a schema in my brain that someone's always going to hurt me, then guess what? My core beliefs and value system is always about defense. So we might not get along. I might hear all that solution stuff, but if the solution does not involve survival or watch your back or this and that, I may be so committed, blind to my commitment. Give you another example. It's something small. A couple of times if you run out because grandma said, let's go, or grandpa or dad was gonna, and then by the time you got your stuff, you came out and dad was gone already. Something simple, but a schema in the brain that says, goof around, and if you don't move quickly, then you will get left behind. And here I am 20-something years later, first to the lunch line, first to get, like when we get food, mom and dad bring food. I'm like, oh, give me, damn, you act like you're so damn hungry, man. Calm down. So it looks like I'm just so damn hungry, but unannounced to anyone, my schema and core belief is from that one or two times when I got left, or I believed, or even a joke. Oh no, you were last? we ran out of food. I'm holding the thing up just high enough. It's filled with food, but I'm like, oh no, you ran out. You wanted to play the game? No, I'm talking about a little kid. And that one joke, schema, boom, locked in the brain. And now I'm 17 years old. I weigh 300 pounds because I'm God damn, dude, slow down. You're fat ass. And all I know is the fat part. I really don't know. And one more, I'll give you one more example. When we throw kids up in the air, wee, oh, woo. Now that seems like fun. It is fun. I've thrown a few kids and missed catching them. But listen, the problem is the schema of that, and now they could be 19 years old. Hey, we're going to the state fair. You want to go? Nah, man, I don't get on no rides. And they really don't understand why. It's not a bad thing. They don't get on rides. But now they're 20-something years old, and we say, you have no fun. You never do anything spontaneous. Again, I'm speaking to the extremes. But my whole point is, seriously, sometimes when people have these core beliefs, I wonder where they got them from. Like, why is that your core belief? Because we all have our own, but just keep in mind, because I can't control anyone else, I would then need to be responsible and say, scam. I can bring some solutions, but I have to be honest, my solutions are probably just going to be in this lane. Is that going to be helpful at all? With what you're trying to do, here's what I can offer. Is that going to help? But I need to be responsible for that, because if not, guess what? To you, scam, it may look like I don't give a shit and I don't want to help.
I totally get it, because a big question, like in one-on-one or slower conversations, if you want to know something before you get your judgment, man, them people over there, whoa, them people, oh, the modern women's, whoa, they're whole. Why?
Yeah.
And you'll be surprised the answer that you get. They might tell you they act this way, and the person who did the damage looked just like you. Raw Dog Ronnie is just a little bit uglier than I am. Just a little bit. But he did something to the woman when she was 28, and she sees me. She's trying to move, but man, that could be another one of them. So It's going to have an effect. And if I say 5 words that sound just like what Raw Dog Ronnie said, that trigger goes off, and it is what it is.
Right. But Coach, did you catch that? And I hope those listening, did you catch that? I mean, I think that's spot on. How many times have we compared? How many times have we locked onto something? We go into relationships still with unresolved stuff from over here. Not trauma, just unresolved stuff. What Pookie did to me, what Smuckatelli did to me, certain professions, that's a cop, that's a cop, that's a cop, that's a cop. So we already have in our mind what a cop is going to do. We already have in our mind what a so-and-so is going to do. We already have. So sometimes we don't really get in those deep thoughts. Last one I'll say, Coach K, when I was going through my problems as a kid, the social workers that came in were Caucasian. Now, race in itself, probably not really important to mention. But as a kid, who do you think became my hero? Not just a social worker, but white people.
A white female.
Yeah. Right. And then since the field is dominated by women, it wasn't no dude that came over, it was a white woman that saved me. Now, what do you think I want to be with when I'm 25, 20, well, hell, actually 18, 19? Who do you think I want to be with? Who do you think? A white woman. If I live in a black community and they're like, oh, you getting with them snow bunnies. But I take it as an insult, like you calling them snow bunnies, but at my core, they're my hero.
That's interesting.
Just saying, because someone will bash people like, well, why are you with? And we can say stuff like, oh, they believe in us. Oh, they pay the bill. All the stereotypes, right? But where did we get that belief if we didn't actually experience it yet? If we didn't experience it yet, where did we get that from? And that's why I think with Scam, what you're saying is like all the speaking points, we just jump right in line. Like, what? We just jump right in line.
Yeah.
Do we ever really investigate?
I think a lot of people are knowing, because I'm gonna be real. There's places where married people are helping keep people single. Places where single people are trying to help people get married. I mean, some stuff is just backwards to where, and had a good conversation, actually a couple hours ago. Black Man Unfiltered mentioned something. He was like, there's Lucifer. If God himself was right there, Jesus is right there, he got a book and he's reading the scripture. Lucifer standing 2 feet away from reading the scripture. Who will people listen to? The problem is Lucifer might be prettier than Jesus. Lucifer, you talk about gift for gab. So what do you expect people to just see you and know that you're God and know you're Jesus?
No.
Are you expecting to know? Or if they don't come from the foundation, we're taught how to evaluate.
Wait, so are we saying speak to it? I mean, because
No,
I hear you, but are we saying, because I think it was Isaiah or somebody earlier saying, no, when you, and it was a while back where I was talking about, like, you know, doing kind things and not speaking to, or, so are you saying, what, let me ask, would you clarify? What do you mean by that?
I'm more meaning we can't just expect to come up to somebody, your coworker or whatever, and say, hey, man, I'm going to help you out, man. I'm going to show you how to do this. And them just say, oh, you're here to help. Let me give you my, no, I don't know you. You might, they thinking he's going to pick my pocket. Is he going to show me how to do something wrong, get me escorted up out of here? Who is it? I don't know you.
Take something. Yeah. Lost.
The last 2 jobs ago, there was a dude that did that, and then he tried to hate on him because the secretary liked him and tried to get him escorted out the building. It is what it is. Like, trust can't just be established to it. I mean, even if we're right, even if we have an answer, solution, whatever, we can't expect to just hand it out to somebody and then just take it and receive it and just fall in line. It's not.
So really, what do we do? What do you suggest?
Work on our communication, work on our delivery, and accept terms the way they accept that people are the way they are. Some people have a right in every choice to say no. They have a right to not like you or not talk to you. They have that right. Also, listen to the people that you're trying to influence. Understand them before you try to get them to, understand them before you try to get them to understand you. Meet them where they are. Meet them where they are, as close to where you are, before you can try to get them to go where you may think that they need to be.
In that space of where I'm trying to get to, is there room for a complaint?
Yes and no. To be honest, there's no rules. A person can open their mouth and they can close their ears at any given. They can do it 10 years in a marriage if they want to. People are people. It just is what it is. And if that's what they do, that's what they do. All you can do is adapt, adjust, and be the best you can and communicate the way that you can.
Well, in those marriages, though, what if they're not happy?
You might want to find out why.
Well, I don't need to find out. Just go down and get a divorce.
If it's not even worth asking your spouse why they're not happy, that's probably why they're leaving in the first place.
If you have to ask.
If you don't know why they're unhappy and you've been here with this person 9 years, that's probably the reason.
I agree to that. Coach, what do you think of that?
It depends. I mean, it depends. I don't know. Yeah, for the most part, I'll agree with you, Dustin.
All right. I mean, did you even catch what he said? I saw you were doing some notes here, so I don't know if you caught what he said because I was kind of going back and forth.
I heard.
Beautiful Animated in the house too. What's up, Beautiful Animated? Good to see you.
I'm appreciating the people. But no, I heard about what Dustin said. And me and Dustin have talked about if you even have the reason to ask, why.
Oh yeah.
That part. We asking about.
I told you remember the show I was on the show. I told you I was doing a lot of this. So just now we were going back and forth, and I'm like, oh, did I just catch you in one of my turns? Did you know what we're talking about? So I'm working on that. All right.
No, you're good.
All right.
Wait, but Dustin, that was the last thing you said, right? Because now I want to make sure.
So he was talking about the and I said, what do you think about that? Because we can't control others. We can't do this. We can't do that. More communication. Sometimes we have to accept what it is. But then I was challenging, saying, yeah, but while waiting to kind of, or not waiting, while working to get to where that person's at, while working to accept, while I'm building that acceptance, is there room for complaining? And he said, well, there's really no rules. Who says you? I was like, ooh. And I think that's why I was like, ooh, what do you think, Coach?
Yeah, there aren't. Well, because anything that I say, it's going to be for whoever's listening to me right now, because like whoever hears my voice, what I'm saying is for you. Because if it's for the other person in your life, what good is that? Are they hearing it? Can you ensure that they apply it? And what if they don't? What if they do? You know, so it's like, that's why a lot of times it takes one person to make a shift, or to even, you know, ask a question, have some understanding sometimes. I mean, I've said this plenty of times on YouTube. I don't know, we're all over, you know, especially on this channel, that, you know, me and my husband used to fight all the time. We hardly ever fight, because I was the problem. I was the trouble one. But, you know, sometimes it just takes one person to say, oh, okay, I understand why you say that, or I understand why that was confusing to you, and just drop it. But
see, and that's why I say in a perfect world, because you and Scam sound, what you say makes sense. But I'm wondering, and it doesn't have to be perfect, that's an extreme. But until we get to that point of no more arguments, until I get to that point of true acceptance, my complaint, because now my first thought is, who's this uppity dude? Who's Scam? I mean, why? Because it almost sounds too positive. It almost sounds too unrealistic. It almost sounds like he's on some bullshit, so he wants us to be on some bullshit. For those who are out there wanting to, right? I mean, I'm not even just trolling, or even Coach K, if you're giving like not a marriage advice, but if you're like, no, we got to the point where my husband and I, we can, y'all didn't get to nothing. You're just more quiet about it. So see how I'm finding a way to turn it into a complaint. Like, I'm going to complain for you.
Right.
So that's why I'm like, well, until we got to that sweet spot, is there room? I guess there's room for anything. And that's where I hear Scam saying there's no rules. You can say what you want, do what you want. How beneficial is it going to be?
And if you're saying, and I would even question someone, and by the way, we still fight, but if this person, let's say, responds directly to me, well, you know, you're just saying that, I would question, how do you know? Like, are you telling me you don't think this is possible? Well, why don't you think this is possible? And then we might break that down even more. You know, what is the holdup for them? You know, why they don't think this is, you know, that they're capable of that. But at the same time too, like, this isn't a sprint. This is like a marathon. So it's like, this takes, unfortunately, especially if you want change, if you want to pick up good habits or break bad habits, it takes time. You know.
Okay.
So yeah.
Any final thoughts for a Scam?
Listen. I'll put it this way. If you're overly logical, try to have a conversation, take your logic all the way off, and see what you can understand. And if you didn't have any logic, didn't know any right answers, are you still able to communicate? If the answer is no, work on the emotional side of your conversations. Another one is remove your money, your position, and whatever forces a person to listen to you. Remove those things and see if they're still willing to listen. That'll let you know if your communication is really what it is.
Wait, you
Take
said
your
what?
Coach, did you catch that? No, I'm not trying to be on Scam's tip right now, but did you catch that? If you remove the status, if you remove the money, if you remove the weed, if you remove the connection, the product, the power,
will people still listen?
What connection do we still have?
Oh, like if someone's like even valid, like they're even worthy of us listening to them.
Do I even give a shit about you if you didn't have what you
Meaning,
have?
traditional thing. I'm gonna keep beating up on traditions, not entire tradition, but traditional mindset as it's pushed.
Yeah.
Traditional form is one person standing on top of the other, pointing down, saying you got to do this because this is the way it's supposed to be done. That's been
one of the practices. Yeah. Okay.
Right. People fought and they died for choice, and they'll do it again. People have choice and they're going to get it one way or another. They will make a decision. Therefore, if you want long-term relationships, connections, influence, and this goes from jobs, they're quitting jobs. It's not people working for 30 years no more. They'll quit and go to the job next door in a week. Understand what the people are having who are building long-term relationships and actually building real connections and effective communication, even amongst kids. Remove your belts. Don't ever stand on top of them, see if they're still willing to listen. Because one day that belt won't be effective anymore. That you standing on top of them, they're going to be bigger than you. Or they're going to find out that they have the option to listen. What choice will they make? Do they follow and they listen to you because they believe in you? Because of they believe you what you're doing is right? Do you have the actual influence? Do they really think you know what you're doing? Or is it because they have to, or they're scared to make another decision? It's coworkers, spouses, kids, everybody. I'm just promoting people have better communication styles. I'm working on mine. Or just troll them. I mean, let's be real. You can always just troll them.
Right.
That's
Much
really,
appreciate you, sir. I still say
thoughtful.
one of the behaviors that was part of the tradition, because all it is really new traditions, but I hear what you're saying. So much love for you. Thank you for coming up, sir. Always an honor to hear your speaking points. And I look forward to your next show. Like I said, I saw you last one, you rescheduled, so I'll be heading back over there when you get it back up there.
Yeah. Make sure you put
We
your
got it.
link
We'll
in
be
there.
okay.
What'd you say?
We're going to be talking about professionalism in the workplace.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's what yes.
Coach K will be a guest, I believe so. But more in the job, stuff you say and stuff you don't say. Men and women, stuff you can say in the break room, lobby, interview, meeting, supervising, how to work together, how to keep yourself out of EEO, and how to just don't say stuff that you ain't and do stuff.
Yeah, but man, are you one of the people that believes now when you go to work you don't even say hi to each other? Are you one of those people that's walk past your coworker and just don't even say hi?
No.
It's bad, man. It's gotten bad.
There's a way to have the conversation. There's ways to protect yourself. You can't fix everything. But there's a dude at every job that's not having these problems. There's a woman at every job who's not having these problems that the others are complaining about. What is it that they're doing that you're not?
They're not saying shit, man. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. No, I'm serious. Like, I that's a problem. So I don't want to say traditionalism or traditionalist, but I am old school, however you want to say it. I went to the store last night to get a can of Pringles, and I put it up on the counter, and a guy just looked to start ringing it up and didn't say a word. I just looked at him. And he looked at me, we just looked at each other.
Oh.
And then finally I was like, and he's like, yeah, welcome. Welcome to the gas station, man. Like, hello. I mean, customer service. And he was like, it's $3. Were you gonna pay the $3? I was like, wow.
That's crazy.
But for him, but whose problem is it? Is my problem because he didn't say hi? His problem because I thought so whose problem is it? And that'll be interesting. I'm gonna tune in your show because I want to hear your perspective on is the way, you can't speak, you can't say anything. What used to be like sexual harassment or what used to be what's called unwanted behavior, now you just go boo, and that's that. You don't even get the warning of unwanted behavior. Next thing you know, you're in the HR office. Well,
or hostile workplace, like what is that?
Yes,
that could be anything.
Yes, right.
But there is definitely validity to that description too,
Used to be able to say, hey, yeah, scam, nothing personal. You got some shit in your nose. Why? Who were you to tell me? Let it stay there then. If it's like, damn, I'm in the HR.
It can become workforce bullying. It can become that.
Damn, that's sad, man. It's a sensitive world, man. In my opinion.
It is. I think so, yeah.
If I come out the bathroom with tissue hanging out my pants, I want you to be like, hey, That shit is
Right.
anyway.
Right.
Yeah, well,
Would you
yeah,
rather me just leave it there?
yeah, we're gonna have a conversation.
Yeah.
Some stuff might not get answered. It just, I mean,
Right.
We're gonna answer something, right? There's
Right.
gonna be
Right.
at
can
least one
suggest-
solution.
we can
Yes.
suggest, but we can't
Right.
say click this button and then they're gonna promote it. It doesn't work that
Right.
way.
Mhm.
Right. All right, we're gonna wrap it up,
As
sir.
always,
Thank you so much,
Scam.
Scam. Always an honor.
All right.
Peace, peace,
Just
peace.
put your stuff in the chat.
Yes, Coach K, we got a super chat. Take heed from the message. Hello, hello.
Hey, thanks for being here. We don't even need a soundboard. We got your sound.
Yes, yes. Hey, have you checked out? Do you see Coach Take Heed's little shorts? Do you see those clips?
Yes, I
Man,
do. Jeez.
man.
On
Listen,
fire.
take heed. I mean, she like because you can demand respect or you can command respect. And take heed. You when I listen to you, I'm like, yes, ma'am. That foolery. I love. I
She's
use that
great.
everywhere.
I
Like,
love
good
listening
fool.
to her.
Yes, but I do want to. In all seriousness, I do want to say thank you because you know the loudest voice, and I don't mean volume. I mean if we're all at a seated position, everyone's fair game. Those who stand up have the biggest targets on them. So I definitely want to say take heed. Thank you for your courage, not just to be the target, but because you're giving stuff out there to let these women know, let the marriages know, and you're a target. And so I thank you for having the courage to be out there, defending yourself, speaking to, being assertive, and giving those platinum nuggets to so many people that need it. So I thank you wholeheartedly for your messages out there. Is very, very needed. So thank you for doing what you do, sister. Very proud, very proud. So much salute to you. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Yes, thanks for being here as always.
Yes. All right. Listen, for those who stopped through, thank you, Lindsay.
Yes,
I'm not sure if
Lindsay,
I know. Yes, and we invited you up. I don't know if you got a chance to see it, but definitely would love to have you up sometime if you're able to. Beautiful Animated is in the house. I know you had some great points you were making. Thank you so much, Isaiah, for the points you were making. Me have donuts. I didn't catch all of what you were saying, but consideration and compassion. Truly listen to homeless man's story. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for that. Lady Navora, always thank you for doing what you do in the chats and helping us and supporting us and being there. Everyone who stopped by, Sir Hale, Lost in Translation, the Harris Tribe. I know you mentioned some folks too, Coach. So Andre Terry, if I didn't say it already, Andre, what's up? Thank you for the shout out and being here, swinging through. If people are listening on the replay, please, if you liked what we had to say, please like. And if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please do. We are almost, the Black Men Unfiltered Network is almost at 3,000. Did you know that? Did you notice, Coach? We're almost at 3,000. Let's get that number up, please. Yes. There are so many people who can benefit from all of the network conversations. Yes. Almost at 3,000. Would love all of your support to get that number up there. Please, please, please share, subscribe, hit the like button. Mo was up here tonight. Pleasure to meet you, Mo.
Yes, thank you, Mo.
Put a face to the name. Much appreciate the conversation and for you sharing. I hope your coworker didn't hear it, and if he did, he's old enough that he didn't really know what the hell you were talking about, or he'll be there tomorrow. Or he'll be there tomorrow to tell you about it. So thank you.
Might not complain anymore now.
Right. And getting scammed. You have any final thoughts, Coach?
No, I thought this was a great topic, one of my favorite topics, but because it affects all of us. We all do this. Actually, as humans, this was a good thing to complain or to at least notice negative things, because guess what? It kept us safe. But oftentimes we think it's productive, we think it's helpful, but it actually, I would encourage you to ask yourself, is this helpful? What am I getting from this? Why is this a problem? So what? And sometimes there's a shift there. Just the awareness is very important. But yeah, this was a great topic. We all appreciate you being here, catching the replay, but those who were participating in the chat, so cool to see. But yeah, if you have any questions, put it in the comment below the video. And yeah, that's all I got. What about you, Dr. Nicole?
Cool. My only thought is mindfulness, mindfulness, mindfulness. I love what you were talking about. Like, what is, I picture on that board of asking, what is the true problem? Or what is it that I want to express? Am I really complaining about something that I can't do, I don't want to do, or I do want and can't seem to achieve, or I do have, or whatever the case is? What is the problem? And then if you have to do, like when we were talking to Mo, we broke it down a couple of, like, is it this problem, or this problem? And once you identify that problem, I say repeat that cycle. So we chose this. Now let's look at what's the problem with that. And so I really, really like that. So I just suggest to anyone who was listening to really get into understanding why it's a complaint, or if it's just you. What did Lindsay say earlier? If it's just you venting, that's okay too, because sometimes people just want to feel heard or acknowledged, right? It doesn't mean that they want an answer or a solution. Sometimes people just want to be heard, which was another interesting debate tonight about, do we have to listen, or should we listen, or should people want others to hear them? So that's another whole conversation. But I appreciate that. And then I guess in closing, be mindful of how much you're connected to that complaint of another person. How much are you connected? Are we really itching about ourselves? Look how that person looks, but we're really not happy with ourselves. Listen to how that person sounds, but then we really are not happy with how we sound. So look at how much we're projecting.
That's
right?
a big one. Yeah.
Yes. How much are we really projecting? People do it in relationships. Watch out for the gaslighting and stuff like that. But that complaint is really something that's internal, and we're just projecting it out. So be more mindful of that. We thank you.
Yes, in closing, stay tuned. Black Men Unfiltered is going to play the intro at the end of this.
Yes. If you haven't seen it yet, please stay. Check it out. And remember, hit the like button. Please make a comment or two after the show and the replay. Much appreciated. It helps with the algorithms. And again, we appreciate the space, the opportunity to share perspectives with you. Stay safe out there, and we'll catch you this week. Today is Thursday. Tomorrow is the barber shop. Come on through for a good topic and conversation. Monday, actually, BMU does. I've seen them a couple times on Sunday. Just keep your alerts. Keep the subscribe button. Check it out, because sometimes the algorithms. I've had things where I didn't get the alert, so just check it out. But then for sure on Monday, Tuesday, Talk That Talk. Wednesday, Shushu and Mandrell, and then back to us again on Thursday. Shout out to all the mods and those who do what they do. Shout out to UCBN for doing what you do. BMU, thank you, Coach K. Always an honor and pleasure.
And to you also, thank you guys.